I just had a bizarre thought, and just try to make this a bit brighter for you. We're at -3 stops of light. Now we're at 0. Okay. I like it probably a little bit darker. What do you reckon? Comment below. I think about that. No, but anyway, I was on a really weird thought chain, like as I do when I'm tired and I'm just thinking about things out there, like creatively. I was thinking about life, but not like our lives, but life objectively, even down to like single-celled organisms kind of thing. I was thinking about proteins because I was thinking about like what's in the beer. Some beers you get are pasteurized, but some might not be. As far as I'm aware, some aren't, and some are. So there's a certain amount of protein in a beer. A schooner of beer average is about 1 gram of protein in a beer. But if you pasteurize that beer, that means boiling it basically to remove, or at least heating it to a point. There are different levels of pasteurization. It's like you actually elevate things to a specific temperature, usually to eliminate a certain problem. And different things are different temperatures. So UHT stuff like long life milk and that gets heated to like over 120 or 130 degrees Celsius, like above boiling. It's like really fucking hot. But then that's why it can last so long. But it completely kills everything that's in it. So it's basically like a dead product. It's just... But that's where that thought came in after. Is it dead? Was it ever alive? The protein in there, I was thinking, because cells need proteins to make themselves, which make organisms which we consider living cells and living things. But are the proteins themselves alive? I mean, they do have like little tiny things that go along the chains and put them together and like all of that. So when do you pasteurize it? Does it kill that? I don't know what temperatures proteins can withstand. Depends on the protein. Some of them like collapse at 60 degrees Celsius, some of them at 70 degrees Celsius. So it made me think what actually happens when you pasteurize beer, in terms of, because I want to make sure that everything that I'm putting into my body, even if it does seem like it's something that's bad, is basically as good as it's going to be for me. So the beer, because I actually make it like, you can almost count that into like, okay, so one of the reasons why I've been so frustrated lately over these last couple of vlogs is because I haven't been drinking much. And that seems like a really silly excuse maybe to a lot of people, but when you consistently have like a regularly sort of income of alcohol, I suppose you could say, it does affect mood and everything. And well, I'm only human, so I got frustrated earlier because things were frustrating. Anyway, the beer, I've generally worked out that beer accounts for about 20 to 30% of my caloric intake on most days. Probably 20%, but I'd like it to be somewhere higher because, well, I drink probably about maybe, I'd say I'd drink maybe 2 cartons every like 10 days. Does that make sense? At the moment. Like over the last 2 or 3 months, I would say that's probably been the average. Like I've been pretty conservative. I would regularly drink a 6-pack a night, and like I've finished 4 beers already since I got home, and I had a schooner at work, and I'm into my 5th beer now, or I'm about to crack it. If I had it my way, that would be every day. But it'd probably be more because like normally I have 1 or 2 during the day as well. I like to have one with lunch, and I like to have one when I have dinner, and then I like to have whatever I have at night time. I find it makes it, I actually used it as a digestive, kind of like you can have wine where you have digestives. I kind of use beer that way, where it helps me actually digest my meal. The alcohol in it kind of helps my stomach break it down. I feel like a lot of my organs are kind of getting used to it being around. So, and especially my brain. My brain gets affected by it more than any other organ by far. And that's the main organ that is making my body do it. In fact, it's the only organ that's actually making my body do it. My brain wants it, so it instructs my body to go out and get it. And that's a scary thing. When you actually, not scary, I'm not terrified by it, but it's it's a confronting thing to think about, that you need to actually factor into your budget your alcohol allowance. And I don't like being limited to less than $50 a week alcohol. That's a pretty tough time for me. Less than $50 a week. That's more than any of my other bills. That's more than internet, more than my phone, more than anything else. Maybe electricity is probably more. I don't know. Food's more. Rent's more. But yeah, it's a significant portion of it. And when you get through rough times where you can't afford to keep up with your means, your brain suffers, and it can get wild, and it's like an animal. You don't corner a wild wolf or lion or something, because it will get wild and it will get angry. And that's basically how I feel about my brain. It's it has its way of thinking that everything should be, and my body, my physical person, has, through chaos's influence and my position in the world and everything, it's not aligning, and my brain's just starting to go in this wild fucking animal state, where you just starts to not care about anything that actually will affect the body and will potentially put you into consequences that will be of detriment to the body and later the mind, even though I know I'm smarter than that. It's about keeping it in check. And now it's 5-1. I've been playing an hour or two of Skyrim, and my six-pack's gone. My six-pack is no longer. And I couldn't be happier. I just wish I had 2 more beers. Skyrim is basically my game of, it's basically the game of my life. No other game I've ever played has ever been as good and has given me as much time and enjoyment, I don't think, as what this game has. And it's a really good escape for me because it's quite a good sort of role-playing game. You can't do everything that you would normally do in life, but you don't really need to. It's just about sort of an outlet for you to sort of role-play something that is going out in your mind and do it. For example, the gaming industry gets a lot of flack for violence in games. But I genuinely think that expressing violence in a game can help you sort of abate actually expressing it in life. It's kind of a release in a way. I don't really think the populace has come to a genuine consensus on it, because it's still kind of a bit of a debated topic. I guess I would say it helps. If I'm just that angry that I can take out some anger on some things that were created inside a computer, fuck, that's way better than actually expressing my violence in real life, isn't it? You know when things are getting this bad. I just finished my six-pack and I'm just I have this is I think the last amount of alcohol I have in the house. That's not true. I have some scotch that I like. Ooh, I'm keeping. Well, let's say I'm keeping it for old time's sake. But this is essentially the last alcohol in the house is tequila. And it's technically mezcal. That's why it's lasted so long in this household. It's lasted me, I think I got it probably 8 years ago. I think I got it about 8 years ago. Oh, yeah, about 8 years ago. That's how long this bottle has lasted me. That's how much I don't care about tequila or mezcal. That's how much I don't care about it. Fuck, that's a lot. Anyway, I've done well. That's the only tequila or mezcal I've ever owned, and it's lasted me 8 years, the bottle. That's a pretty good turnover. That's like only about, like if I'm like only having tequila shots once every 6 months or something like that. That's the average. Fuck, that's not too bad. I'm pretty happy with that. That's pretty good. Anyway, this bottle actually has like a lot of memories for me. It does, but I'm not going to share them with you because they're like, no, okay. Let's just say like, nah.
Now we're getting fancy with the shots and shit, aren't we? Yeah. Look at that tight shit. Yes. And then we got the booze. The booze. The booze. Otherwise known as the booze. The booze. Booze. Sorry, I'm not. Look at the glass. It's like a fucking medicine bullshit scientific fucking thing. 30 mils. There we go. Fucking bang on 30 mils. That's one shot. Nothing too harmful. Nothing too harmful.
I just need to collect the other things you're meant to have with this kind of drink. Salt and a citrus. I've got plenty of citrus from my own property at the moment. And the lemons on the tree have a little bit of an orange taste because they're next to an orange and a mandarin, and they kind of like, I think they're kind of like over time they kind of like, the bees are kind of interbreeding them, and they actually have like, the lemons actually have like a really orangey kind of taste. It's quite strange, but it's really interesting. It's like, and I think so if I get a slice of that, well, this is the kind of shot you wanna, boom, like a boost, like a, yeah. Okay, so this is the shit here we after, and then there we have a jar of salt. This whole mezcal shot lemon salt thing has like boggled my mind a bit because I always forget what order you're meant to do it in. And that came up like I think a year or two ago. Yeah, it was a bit more than a year ago. I was at one of my best friend's birthdays, and the tequila thing, I fucked it up. Like the
Two of those fucking egg cups.
You guys love the biggest shots.
Oh, look at that!
I know,
like that one.
That's a pipe for it.
That's fucking cool. Oh, jelly
That'll
tummies.
work.
Yeah,
Michael,
I don't want
do you
like
need a beer?
too much because I've had bad times with tequila.
Right,
Oh god.
I got
So wait, I did like
we
salt.
have.
Do you like a bit of-
Okay, salt.
Yeah.
Alright, where's the salt? There.
Is this the end of it?
Actually really.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, that's why you need to see.
I've done quite a few of these tonight. It was a learning
we
curve.
threw a whole lot of
Cheers, guys. Thanks for coming. Salt, tequila, lime. But that lime is fouler.
There you go. Oh fuck, what a good memory that is. Wow. So good. Anyway, that gives me the answer to the question I wanted. It's salt, tequila, lime, in this case lemon, but that's what I wanted to know. Okay, salt. Okay, done in quick succession. That was pretty good. But that's because I did it in the right order. I don't usually do it in the right order. Now I think I'm ready for bed. Yes!